Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm producer Semi, and today we are going to dive into how I made my Sweet Mama instrumental. So the instrumental is out there, you can check it. The link is up here. So let's dive in and see what I did. I have been asked how I did the drums, and this is why I'm doing this. Let's hear the drums, how we did the drums only. So let's jump right into it. If you think of most Bongo Fleva, we have this 4-step kick, and also they use a trazio pattern in their snares. Majorly you'll hear that. So after there is where you hear the difference. The difference will come from after them, because the 4-step kick and the trazio pattern is something every producer will use. When you come to music production, you have to listen, you have to want more until you feel you are satisfied or you feel like it's close to what you wanted. So this is a hear thing and not the knowing thing. So if I just play the kick pattern, it's not too much, it's just the 4-step pattern. So, but if I play just the kick without the second instrument here, if I play just the kick, you'll hear it's not full. Just listen. Just silent, very silent. Not lively. But with this hi-hat, something like this happens. Yeah, you feel like there's this upper feeling you feel. And that is something the top producers do, and that is the second thing I want you to understand. The first one was knowing what sound you want. That will always be the important thing. That might come from the chord you played, the key you're playing in, and things like this, and which will come to play a very important part later in this tutorial. But for now, just understand you need to make one instrument feel as live, sweet, and groovy as possible before you go to the other one. So first thing I did with my beat, I used the kick. I found the kick which I felt like it is the best kick for this beat. And then now I layered it. So I have layered my kick with a hi-hat here, and you can feel the difference. My hi-hat is the one coming to smooth everything up. So the second thing I did is finding the snares. So I also did the same, finding a good snare and then layering it with a hi-hat. The snare sounds like this. I also added a hi-hat to make it feel live and whole in the room. So it's a bit far away. So when you layer the two, so something like that happens. So that was my second thing. But I found like when you play the two, which will be just these two, it feels like reggaeton, not bongo. So most bongo have a snare that starts here. So something like ta 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 ta. But I didn't want to use the same snare I'm using, so I opted to add another layer of snare. So I went to my third snare, which was to add a room of movement. So you feel the snare, a different snare, and another snare. That is what I was looking for there. So the snare I looked for was very, very live and a quiet one. So I usually layer my sounds to make them feel unique. That is very important, and to make them feel authentic. So when you listen with everything else, yeah, but now you feel there is something which is missing. Also added some two snares going the same pattern but different ones. So the first snare sounded like this, also live and a quiet one, but in a distance. So when I play all of them together, they sounded this way. So this is bringing that liveness, a lot of life in the beat. So when we listen, now the snares and the kick. This is feeling so good, and this is what we want. Yeah, and that brings us to that thing. You find your chords. If the chords are right, you should start from there. Everything should flow. For me, I already have my drums. I now have a key to play with. So the third thing here will be making my drums adhere to the key of my song. So what do I mean? If I just highlight my keys, usually come down here to the view, then scale highlight, and I highlight my scale. So my scale is E major. When I come back to my drums, I can see where they are lying. If I could just do this, just on the kick, just put some first step here. When you just punch your patterns in the channel rank, the default note is C. And if you look closely, C is not on our scale. So if you play your song, they will start crashing your melodies, and the end product from here will be very, very bad. This is a mistake that most producers who are starting producing usually do, and they underlook this thing. Everything, the kick, let's see the kick. When you look at the kick, is on scale. When you look at the hi-hat, general, on the scale. If I come down to this snare, the last snare I showed you, go there, general, on the scale. Okay, so after doing this, you find some spices to spice up your beat. So for me, I started here with a conga, went this way. And with the beat, yeah, so I just panned it left 30%. Yeah, another conga, but at the middle. To add a half step in the beat, in the conga steps. So I then added a shaker. I feel like I need a shaker there. So I added a shaker, which was going this way. Pretty quiet, but so that percussion was a tambourine. So my tambourine was sounding this way. Yeah, to the left, pretty hard. It was very, very, I found it very, very hard. To the left, 100%. I wanted it to feel so far. Mm, a bit. Yeah, also quiet. When you're making the drums, make sure you have loud instruments and some quiet, but they are there. When you're listening to a sound, you might not notice something, but your brain knows it's there. So now let's just hear the shaker. This way. Yeah, to the right. This beat is lacking some bongo. They added some bongo here. Mm. So the drums there, I added a tone here. So the tone goes like this. Very nice. I then added, here is another tone. So after that, there was only one thing I didn't add, the crash, just to add a looping effect on my drums. And that was my drum loop for this beat. And then I came down to adding effects. So for the kick, I used a H compressor. So I was removing some 3 dB and added some punch here so that the kick doesn't lose its feel. So then to shape the kick to feel heavy. The second one was the snare. Remember this snare is the one I layered it with the hi-hat, so I felt like there is some noise in the hi-hat. So it's better to use a de-esser to remove the S sounds. So you can feel the difference. That instrument was the tambourine. It was feeling a bit empty. But with the effects, I added a delay. I used stock effects, the Futu Billy 3 and the chorus, just to make it feel live. Then I went next to this shakers. I didn't feel like it's live enough, so I used reverb. And everything felt so nice. So from there is the drum bass. So everything was routed to this bass. Not much going on to shape the tails. And the CLA, this is very smooth. If you listen closely to the drums, you will feel a subtle change in between the transitions of the drums. Just listen. Without, with, without, with. Yeah. So after that, I added a Maserati drum stereo, the room one preset. So it will take you to the room button here. I just played with the sensitivity here. And everything came to life. So if you mute this, then mute, then yeah, I added a compressor as the SSL compressor from Waves to glue everything together. at a ratio of 2, so I'm not compressing too much. Yeah, yeah. So with the compressor, yeah, yeah. So that is how you glue your drums. They feel they are playing together. So the next thing was just to remove some noise, and I usually use X noise from waves also. That was it. So from there, I just took everything to the mix bus. When we are mix everything, the bass, the melody, everything, and I just chose one compressor, the R compressor from Waves also. And here I was just trying to do everything together. And because there was no mastering here, but I used a gain of 13.5, so that you guys hear what I'm saying and what I'm showing you. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, to subscribe, to share, and leave your comment. Let's see each other in the next video. Peace.